NFL early week 16 picks coming at you guys. Welcome back to the J All Day NFL show. And oh my goodness, week 15 was an absolute dumpster fire. Crazy upsets, just absolute chaos all over the NFL. Huge injuries. Micah Parsons done for the year. Patrick Mahomes done for the year. It is so crazy. The freaking Panthers lose to the Saints. I don't know what the hell's going on, but let's get into these Week 16 early look picks coming at you. Today's video is brought to you by Underdog. Make picks higher or lower. That's their game across all sports, all your different favorite players. And because you're a part of the J All Day community, they're running a great promo here today, guys. Play $5, get $75 in free bonus entries using my promo code JALLDAY. Thank you to Underdog for sponsoring this video, guys. Before we get started, if you could do me a huge favor and hit that like button and the hype button, does really help out the channel. And if you want more NFL content, you want draft content, picks, bets, whatever, survivor pool stuff. I want my survivor pool this year. Do me a huge favor and subscribe to the channel. We're closing in on 29,000. I appreciate you guys so much. A ton of work goes into each and every one of these videos. Rams, Seahawks. Seahawks didn't really play great at all, but back-to-back home games. They almost lost Phillip Rivers-led Colts today. Not a great performance. 6 field goals, no touchdowns versus the Colts. That's a pretty embarrassing feat there. I don't even know how you do that. But the Rams may have lost Davante Adams for the foreseeable futures, guys. I mean, it was he was running out for a route, and you just saw him pull up on that hammy. Not a good situation there for Davante Adams. So who wins this game? For first place on Thursday Night Football. The Seahawks didn't give me a bunch of confidence this week, man. The offense really struggled against a pretty mediocre defense. So for me, I think I'm going to roll with the Rams here. They're running the football really well with Kyron Williams and Blake Corum. Pretty much going one drive for both of those backs. Puka Nacua is from a different dimension. Matt Stafford is probably the MVP of the NFL, with Drake May losing and blowing a big lead to the Buffalo Bills there today. The Rams are 1.5 point favorites. It's pretty much a pick 'em here, guys. But Rams are pretty solid on the road at 5-2. So I'll take the Rams on the road here. And I think the Rams have a serious shot of running the table and winning the NFC altogether, guys. All right, NFL fans, we've got 2 Saturday games this week. We're kicking off the first one with my Philadelphia Eagles, coming off a dominant performance over the Raiders. I'm not going to get too excited about it. They beat the Raiders. They should beat the Raiders. The Commanders beat the Giants this week and moved to 4-10. Wasn't a great game. Overall, if you watch that game, tons of penalties, turnovers, just overall bad performances for both of those teams, in my opinion. Eagles on the road, going down to Washington to take on the Commanders. Must-win spot for the Philadelphia Eagles. The Cowboys are tied with the Vikings as I'm filming this right now. But I like the Eagles in this spot. I mean, the Commanders have actually, Mariota has this team playing okay. I mean, Terry McLaurin is still a number 1 wide receiver that can get loose at any point during the game. Really talented player. And I like what Mariota has done. Probably the best backup in the NFL, in my opinion, right? I don't expect to see Jaden Daniels for the rest of the year. And hopefully the Eagles will have Lane Johnson back here on Saturday in this stretch run of 3 games. They got Commanders, Bills, Commanders. So the Eagles got to keep winning games. And as long as they keep winning, the Cowboys will not be able to catch them. And then they'll get a playoff berth and probably 1, if not 2 home games going into January. All right, so I'm going to roll with the Philadelphia Eagles here. The line's at 6. I'll do my spread bets video and picks video a little bit later in the week there, guys. But give me the Eagles on the road. It seems like they played a little bit better. The offensive line is still not playing great for me. And the Commanders really miss Zach Ertz, especially on 3rd down as an outlet there. Dallas Goedert had a huge game for the Philadelphia Eagles. 2 touchdowns. A.J. Brown had another touchdown. Commanders took care of business against, I was like, kind of got sucked into that Jackson Dart moxie. I was like, he's going to go out and perform well. But, man, that defense, all that talent, and they just suck flat out, the New York Giants. But, yeah, I think the Commanders don't really have too much of a shot here. I think the Philadelphia Eagles come out and dominate again here in back-to-back weeks. And then the nightcap on Saturday night, really good game, rematch from a couple weeks back. Packers at the Bears this time. They lost, the Bears did, 28-21, in a game that came down to the fourth quarter. Packers didn't play great, and now they're going to be without Micah Parsons, who's done for the year. That's a huge bummer with that ACL tear. Zach Tom also got hurt in that spot. We're not sure if he's going to play in this game. That's a huge loss. He definitely won't be 100%. That's a huge bummer for the Packers. And we saw Bo Nix and that Denver Broncos offense definitely get loose once he went down, Micah Parsons, in the third quarter there. Huge bummer for the Packers. That really hurts, especially on this stretch run with the team with championship aspirations. The Bears, 10-4, play really good at home. They're 5-1 at home. Packers are 1.5-point favorites, but give me the Bears in this spot at home. I love the Bears here to just beat a team that's beat up a little bit. No Micah Parsons. That's going to be a huge sigh of relief for the Bears there, in my opinion. Maybe no Zach Tom either in this spot. Packers are a little banged up. Give me the Bears here at home. For a team that plays really well at home, Caleb Williams took care of business today versus the Cleveland Browns, who are trash. You know, Shedeur Sanders, when he plays a good team, didn't look too good today, threw 3 interceptions. I was just telling everyone to pump the brakes on Shedeur Sanders. I'm not saying he can't play in this league, but with that dominant performance against the Titans last week, a lot of people were like talking this kid's head up and blowing his head up, and he comes and plays a real football team and looks like complete trash. So, Bears win. Give it to me. With the 1.5-point spread, give me the Bears and the points, folks. Show. Bears get it done. Next up, we got the Bills on the road taking on the Browns. With that big win over New England, that come from behind win. I picked New England to win. I was talking shit to my dad. I had a ton of confidence. And then, oh my God, Drake May and this Patriots team really shit the bed. Bills, 5 drives in a row, 5 freaking touchdowns. How the hell do you even do that? Mike Vrabel, you should be ashamed of yourself, bro. That is disgraceful. 21-point lead, and you blew it. You blew it. And the Bills should win this game easily. 10-point line. I'm taking the Bills and the points. You know, Josh Allen turned into Superman in the second half. This Bills team continues to struggle in the first half, but oh boy, Josh Allen in the second half of games, dude is an absolute savage, man. So give me the Bills there. In that spot, Chargers, Cowboys. In Jerry's world, honestly, guys, I think this is a not great matchup for the Chargers. Remember, the Cowboys defense, not very good, but the Chargers offensive line, not very good. They beat a bad Chiefs team this week, but remember, Patrick Mahomes gets hurt late in that game on the final drive. They probably tie the game up, goes into overtime at the worst. But they didn't play good. What was the final score? 16-13. And remember, also, the Chiefs are missing like every offensive lineman they have. They have like undrafted guys playing and 47th round draft picks, and they still only scored 16 points, right? I'm going with the Cowboys here, man. I really am. If they could pull this game out versus the Vikings, you know, the Cowboys are alive. They've still got a lot has to happen. The Eagles pretty much got to lose out, you know, and then but the Eagles in 2 weeks got a tough game against the Bills there. So I'm going to roll with the Cowboys here. We'll see how the rest of this game plays out. And actually, Vegas, the early lines, I just looked at it for the first time. Cowboys are minus 1.5-point favorites. So Vegas is kind of in line with what I'm thinking in this spot. I'm going to give you my projections before I even look at the lines in this spot, guys. And remember, do me a huge favor, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel, guys. It really means a lot to me. I would love to get to 30K by the end of the year, but maybe we'll get to 29K instead. So yeah, give me the Cowboys in that spot. Chiefs, Titans. I don't know, man. The Titans are 0-7 at home. The Chiefs are 1-5 on the road. Gardner Minshew in line to start the rest of the year. I guess I'm going to go with the Chiefs by default, but if the Titans found a way to win, I would not be surprised at all whatsoever. Cam Ward hasn't given up on himself. He still comes every single Sunday with his lunch pail ready to work and try to keep this Titans team in games. Gardner Minshew had a chance to tie the game up through a horrible pass. floater. He just doesn't have the arm strength to throw those out routes consistently without people jumping those routes. Derwin James jumped that out route, picked it off, game was over. Yeah, Gardner Minshew, but Minshew does, have some moxie a little bit. He can rally the troops. But yeah, I'll go with the Chiefs here because the Titans are just so bad. But I would stay away from this game if I had my druthers. Bengals, Dolphins. I really should have flipped off the Bengals after Joe Burrow kind of had that meltdown at the podium, talking about how he's unhappy and all this bullshit. Sometimes, in these little press conferences, most of them are all bullshit and fluff, but sometimes you kind of get to see under, the veil a little bit. And we saw that with Joe Burrow. He just seems like he's given up on his time in Cincinnati, and I wouldn't be surprised that all of his agents try to force a trade or a holdout for him as the next season begins. I just don't think he wants out of Cincinnati. It's a bad situation and a bad football team, and I don't see them contending for a long time, even with Joe Burrow and Higgins and Chase. That defense is really, really bad. The offensive line is trash. They don't really have a run game. I don't know. Joe Burrow doesn't really seem too happy. We'll see what the Dolphins look like tomorrow night. But the Bengals' defense, especially against the run, not very good. Derrick Henry had like 11 carries for over 100 yards. So Achane can really get it going against this Bengals defense, in my opinion. Dolphins' offensive line has played a lot better this year than I initially thought they were going to play. We'll see how they look tomorrow night versus the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are going to be without TJ Watt. But the Bengals just didn't show up at all. I think that after they got eliminated from the playoffs, they're just not trying anymore. They just don't give a shit. That was an error on my part. I should have saw that from a mile away. But I just thought that the Ravens defense has been playing so bad all year. They would be able to push through it a little bit. But you just saw it like on Jamar Chase's face and Joe Burrow's face during that game. They just look extremely disinterested in playing football, and it showed on the field by them getting their asses kicked by the Ravens. I'm going to go with the Dolphins here at home. Faux show. I just like the Dolphins' run game. I think they could, control the clock, keep Joe Burrow off the field, and win a game there. And, they win against the Steelers, and they beat the Bengals. They got a winning record. That's crazy, considering where they were at in the beginning of the year. And, the Dolphins faithful were coming from Mike McDaniel's head, man. Next up, Jets, Saints. Saints are playing spoiler this year for sure. Just blowing up survivor pools all over the NFL. How did they beat the Buccaneers and the Panthers? Bryce Young, the dude's a bum. Sorry. He's a bum. Losing to the Saints, but Tyler Shook, showing a little toughness, a little grit, and I like that. Maybe they give him a chance, a full offseason with this team to kind of show them what he's got in year number 2. Maybe he could take that step forward, right? The Jets, I've just given up, man. They've only won one game on the road this year, and I expect that to not go to 2. I like the Saints here. I just like what Tyler Shook's doing, man. He's running the ball with his legs a little bit. He's opening up things down the field with Olave. I mean, they looked okay. The Panthers' defense is just so ass. But yeah, give me the Saints, especially at home. 2-5 at home. The Jets are just so bad. I like the Saints here, guys. Next up, we got the Minnesota Vikings on the road, taking on the Giants. I think the Vikings pass rush with that really aggressive Brian Flores defense is going to get after Jackson Dart, and I think Jackson Dart is going to take some hits in this game, and I don't know if he'll finish this game. He did a terrible job again. He had to go in the blue tent because of taking big hits. He just can't protect himself, man. And if you can't protect yourself, you're going to get effed up, and you're going to find yourself on the bench in the protocol. And I think that might happen in this game. I don't want it to happen to him, obviously, but he's just not doing a good job protecting himself. The Giants aren't a good football team. Defense has been extremely disappointing. J.J. McCarthy's hanging in there, guys. Vikings are 5-8. Game's tied at halftime right now versus the Cowboys. J.J.'s playing pretty good. Few busted coverages, and, J.J. was making them pay down the field a little bit there. Some penalties called back a Justin Jefferson touchdown. So, we'll see about J.J. McCarthy, right? He's still a young guy, hasn't played a ton of football. So I want to, let this play out a little bit before I call him, a bust or whatever you want to call him. But, yeah, I think they take care of business against the Giants. I don't care if they're on the road. The Giants' defense is just underperforming. They're going to blow it up. Everyone's getting fired. Kafka's not coming back. Joe Sheen's not coming back. They're blowing it up, starting it from scratch. And we'll see how the Giants can, do it next year. But disappointing year for the Vikings, right? They're not going to make the playoffs. But, they can get McCarthy some meaningful reps and then run it back next year. Fully healthy, get some new draft picks and, run it back. Playing in a really tough division, going to be tough. They got to bring some guys in free agency a little bit there, and then I think they'll be all right. Buccaneers, Panthers. I hate them both. I hate you both. The Buccaneers and Panthers have destroyed my bets the last couple of weeks because they couldn't beat the Saints, who aren't playing for anything. And these guys are playing for everything. Give me the Buccaneers here. I just don't believe in the Panthers' defense at all whatsoever. I don't believe in Bryce Young. Baker Mayfield hasn't played great this year at all. I don't think he's 100% healthy, but with Mike Evans back, you just saw that part of the offense really flourish. The defense was atrocious last week, man. Atrocious against Kirk Cousins and Atlanta. What was it? 3rd and 28 and 4th and 14. Big plays on both of those plays. They ended up losing because of it. Mike Evans is probably getting in people's asses in the locker room, man. Todd Bowles, what the hell, dude? You got to get this defense playing better, dial up better defensive calls. Gross. Gross loss. Game they should have never lost. Give me the Buccaneers here in a pick'em game. I just don't believe in Bryce Young. I just don't. All right, next up, guys, we got the Jaguars and the Broncos. This game's going to be sweet. Probably the game I'm the most excited for, man. The Broncos, Bo Nix, Broncos fans, I know they've been giving me shit all year long. And this is the performance that I've been waiting for. Bo Nix looked incredible. He really made this Packers defense pay when they gave him openings. This was the best game he's had all season long, guys, and it's not even close. He really had an excellent performance. I'm really proud of what he's accomplished. And I told you guys at the beginning of the year, the Broncos were going to win the AFC West. I was right on the money there, guys. Even though it wasn't the way I thought they were going to get there, Bo Nix, 23 of 34, 4 touchdowns, 302 yards passing. Clap it up for Bo Nix, man. And wow, this Denver Broncos team in the red zone defensively is remarkable. Early in the game, the Packers had 2 drives they had to kick field goals because the Denver Broncos defense really showed up. Really fucking impressive, dude. Because if they get 2 touchdowns there, it's a whole different game. Bo Nix has to be playing from behind. It's a totally different game. But that defense, so impressive. But man, Jacksonville Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence put in one of his best performances of his career in this past weekend. He was incredible. He really looks locked in right now, man. For a guy I've been very critical of over his career, but listen, it was against the Jets. It wasn't against the Green Bay Packers defense, guys. It was against the freaking Jets, but he still had 5 touchdown passes, right? I think he ran in another one. Really, really impressive stuff out of Trevor Lawrence. Really, really impressive. The addition of Jacoby Myers has been paid dividends for this team, but give me the Broncos at home. This defense is just going to force Trevor Lawrence into bad situations, in my opinion. And as soon as I got Pat Surtain back, this defense, especially in the red zone, I see the Jaguars having to kick field goals if they do move the football a little bit. And the Jaguars defense has been up and down for sure this season. They've had good stretches and bad stretches, right? But yeah, I like the Broncos here. Bo Nix, clap it up for Bo Nix, guys. He looked incredible. I'm very, very proud of his performance this past weekend. He looked really, really good. But man, 2 teams that are on fire right now. Both of these teams playing really, really good football. And maybe a potential preview of an AFC Championship game here on Sunday with the Jaguars on the road taking on the Denver Broncos. And the Broncos officially eliminated the Chiefs. No Chiefs in the playoffs. It's been, I think, 11 years that they've been in the playoffs. 11 in a row. Wow. Impressive stuff there, guys. But give me the Broncos for show. Falcons, Cardinals. Raheem Morris finally got his team some juice last week with that come-from-behind victory over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Cardinals don't really have much to play for, man. They don't have a lot of talent. Marvin Harrison Jr. has been banged up all year. The running back room has been banged up all year. Guys have been in and out of the lineup defensively. No Kyler Murray. I don't know if he'll ever be back with the Cardinals, right? They're probably going to take a quarterback with a top 5 pick. I like the Falcons here. Kyle Pitts and Kirk Cousins seem to be on the same page there. We've been waiting for someone to unlock the Kyle Pitts cheat code. Maybe that is Kirk Cousins, man. But yeah, give me the Falcons on the road. 3 of their 5 wins coming on the road. Impressive performance versus Baker Mayfield there. And they get a little extra rest as well. So extra rest, playing better football against a Cardinals team that has nothing to play for. Both of these teams don't have anything to play for, but I think Raheem Morris is coaching for his job. Yeah, I don't know if Jonathan Gannon will be back for the Cardinals. That'll be interesting to see who gets fired and who doesn't after the season gets cooked. Give me the Falcons on the road here. Steelers, Lions. Lions fall to 8-6, man, with that loss to the Rams. But they were in that game. The defense is just so banged up. And the secondary, man, it's crazy. I just don't think the Steelers have enough juice to make them pay. And I don't think the defense can hold up long enough to stop the Lions, especially in Detroit. Give me the Lions in this spot. The offense is playing really well, right? They had a good showing this past weekend against the Rams in a tough spot, right? I mean, you're playing the Rams. They put up 34 on a really good defense, right? Jared Goff, 25 of 41, a bunch of touchdowns, 3 tutties there, guys. Jahmyr Gibbs, got shut down. Only 38 yards on the ground. That was a big reason why they lost this game. Amon-Ra St. Brown cooked 13 catches, $164 and a touchdown. 2 touchdowns, actually. I had him anytime touchdown. That cash for us. Money in the bank there, guys. I love it. But yeah, give me the Lions all day. I think they covered that. The -7 points too. But again, I'll do my spread bets on Wednesday. Raiders, Texans. I'm going with the Raiders. Never, ever, ever, ever. Texans dominate. Move to 10-5. I don't know if the Raiders score any points at all. They got shut out against the Eagles. I think they might get shut out again against the Texans. Eagles have a good defense, but the Texans have a great defense, right? Line's at 14.5. Monster number. The Texans dominate. C.J. Stroud has looked really good. What have they won? 6 games in a row. They're looking great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games in a row. Yo. The Texans are catching fire at the right time, baby. I love it. I love it. I love it. Texans dominate. The Raiders are so bad. I think they're going to cut ties with Pete Carroll and just cut the snake's head off. This isn't Pete Carroll's fault. This is a bad general manager who does not know how to build a roster's fault. The trenches are trash, and that's how you lose in the NFL. You can get all the high-flying freaking guys you want, but no quarterback and no trenches, it means your football team sucks. That's where the Raiders are right now, man. It's cooked. Texans win easily. Next up, we got the Patriots against the Ravens. Patriots, Ravens. Give me the Patriots. They're going to bounce back after that loss. They had the game in the bag, man. And then they let freaking Josh Allen 5 touchdown drives in a row. Cowboys just took the lead 2017. Caught my eye there while I'm filming this for all you beautiful people out there in YouTube land. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. I like the Patriots. The Ravens, they beat a dysfunctional, demoralized Bengals team, which they should have did on Thanksgiving. It's just, this NFL season has been so unbelievably weird. I'm exhausted. I'm exasperated. I've never seen so many underdogs win in my whole life. I've been covering the NFL professionally for years, following football like a psycho for decades. It's been insane. This has been the craziest football season I've ever seen, and I somehow won my Survivor pool. How I did that, I'll never know. But Patriots win. They move to 7-0 on the road this year. The Ravens are favorites, -2.5. Are these guys on drugs? Yo, run to Vegas. Get the 2.5 points. Buy a 1.5 and get the freaking Patriots at -140, -150 at +4. Yo, give me that shit all freaking day. All day. Wrapping it up. Yo, let's clap it up for Phillip freaking Rivers, dude. Holy shit. 44. Doesn't look like he's in great shape. Came in, threw a touchdown pass in an NFL game and almost beat the Seahawks in Seattle. Came down to a fucking last-second field goal. Holy shit balls, man. extremely impressive. I had no time to really work with this team at all. I mean, it's very impressive. Phillip Rivers, dude's a freaking gangster, man. But another buzzsaw game here, man, coming against the 49ers. Brock Purdy had a great day today. The defense, Robert Saleh, what he's doing without Fred Warner and Bosa, it's unbelievably remarkable. He might get another fucking head coaching job if he wants one. I could see him coaching the Giants. That's not a bad spot there for him to go to New York, right? They had an offensive-minded coach for a while with Daboll. That shit didn't work. They got a ton of talent there. Robert Saleh would be a gangster there for the Giants, right? But maybe he wants to just stay with the 49ers, be a DC for a while, and hopefully they pay him really, really well. Give me the 49ers here, guys. The Colts, Phillip Rivers is really limited. Doesn't really have the arm strength like he did 10 years ago. You know what I mean? The dude's pushing 45 freaking years old, man. But he gave them a chance to win, and that's why they brought in Phillip Rivers, to give this team a chance to win. The line's at 4.5. I think the 49ers probably cover that spread, so I'm going to go with the 49ers here on the road. C-Mac wasn't great today, but Purdy took over. I think Juwan Jennings had like 3 touchdowns or whatever. But give me the 49ers, guys. All right, there's my early look picks for week freaking 16. Crazy. Thank you guys so much. We'll catch you on the next video. My dad's dying, having a little cough attack right there, but we'll catch you on the next video, guys. Peace.